Jimmy? Hey, y'all.
Up, everybody. Why did you switch it that way, Billy?
I didn't do anything, man. Right? So, y'all, this is Donnie Babb from Slamology.
Hey, guys. Donnie. How are you? Hey, everybody.
The man, the myth, the legend.
No, I don't know about all that. I just go to work every day.
25 years of going to work, right?
23 with Gage Magazine. This was this 19 years this year for Slamology. So, yeah, quite a resume and a lot of ramen noodles over 20 years. That's for sure.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. So we're pretty super excited about this year. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have a lot to talk about with you guys tonight, but it's we've had some changes in sponsorship and a lot of good stuff going on our side. So, what better place than to come and help celebrate that with you guys and kind of talk about what your organization does? Because I know with me in here, we're gonna have a lot of guys in here that they don't know who your organization is. We've never really they don't know anything about you guys. You haven't been to the Midwest. You definitely haven't been to Slamology, but I want to talk a lot about what you guys bring to the plate and what's new and exciting for sure.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. We appreciate it big time.
Yeah, and then introduce some of our larger sponsors. So we're gonna have Jon Rabe from Skyhigh Car Audio. Skyhigh is now the title sponsor to Slamology. We're gonna have Jeremy from Kicker over. Kicker is the presenting sponsor of Slamology, which is huge for us. That's for for 19 years, I've been chasing those guys every single day of the year, and
Right.
it took us till now. So, and us having a brand like Kicker standing by our side, it just shows that where we've gone and how our professionalism has really stood out to, you know, a larger corporation to know that, hey, this is a lifestyle event, but it's something that they want their hands on as well. So it's awesome. And hopefully with, you know, as long as they're COVID, everything's good, man, hopefully they're going to bring the show with them as well. And then we're going to have Andrew Showers from B2 Audio on here as well. Andrew, just this morning, they signed as the Car Audio Section show sponsor as well. So B2 Audio is going to present pretty much every organization that's over there. So that entire 1 million square foot of the audio side of the show that we fill up, they're going to, you know, he's going to come over and sponsor all that and talk to you guys a lot about it. He knows a lot of the competitors, and he's that guy in the industry.
Yeah.
Andrew's a great guy for sure.
Oh, for sure. Awesome. So do you guys have any questions for me?
Well, I mean, I personally don't, because I've been to Slamology for years and will always go. But Billy,
I have a million, but I imagine they're detail oriented and probably shouldn't do that. Right?
Well, I'm pretty detail oriented for sure.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, so do we get? I can't remember if we get 6 lanes or 10. You know.
No, that's Denise.
Right.
I am one of the most fortunate show promoters on the planet. I have a management staff and directors of each division of the show that are unheard of. I've been nothing but blessed with staff, and that goes all the way from my wife all the way down to, you know, most of the kids that, you know, I've been working with us since they were. Well, my son, he's a freshman in college this year, so most of his buddies have been working with us since, you know, we were old enough to kind of hide them and not tell, you know, not be in child labor. So, and we've been very fortunate. So that's you'd have to talk to Denise about that.
Speaking of that, hey, how many people does it take to run the show?
So last year we had 63 people on staff.
Ooh.
Yeah, 63 hourly employees, and that's everything from parking people to people standing on the front, all the way up to the show, day of show. Now that's just day of show. Prior to the show, I have 12 section managers, so the entire venue is broke off into sections, and then there's 12 basically supervisors in each one of those areas that are responsible for the employees in each of those areas, and it just runs like any other company. You know, it's just structured from the bottom to the top. So each one of those supervisors take care of their area. We have an operations manager. We have a manager that does nothing, that deals with NHRA as being our landlord, and they do nothing but deal with the local police departments, the excise police. I mean, there's so much patrol and stuff that goes on there. Even though in 19 years we've never had an incident that, but still there's, you know, obviously they take precautions with the crowd of that size. Yeah. And last year, I mean, just over 20,000 people on the day there on Saturday. So it's a big event.
That's a lot of people.
Oh, it's crazy. And when you think about 2,500 participants, it blows my mind. I mean, in 2003, when we started the event, we started a Little Bitty Fairgrounds. It was a way for us to connect with our readers of Gauge magazine. So it was like, hey, let's do another little local car show. We'll have a little thing. Our first show was 230 cars, which that's a pretty good show for a first annual show. And then over the years, as the magazine grew and everything kind of came together, Slamology just continued to grow. And then we started bringing in audio into the event. Every year we kind of added a few more orgs, and then it just kept getting larger and larger and larger. And then the whole demo scene became so large that the one year we had the car show and the demo all mixed in together, and then it was out of control. So all the car show guys were like, hey, we're never going to come back. And all the audio guys were like, hey, we're pissing off these car show guys. So we just divided the venue down the middle with the drag strips. So good stuff.
It works.
How many, do you know how many audio cars you have on the average or lately?
Well, last year. So when we do registration, which pre-registration opens tomorrow, and I highly encourage everybody to pre-register. Not only just saving money, but you're saving us tons of man hours and everything from, you know, everything on our side operationally, as we can prepare and be ready for you at the show. Last year we had a hiccup, and I'm sure there's going to be some guys who get into chat, and we've addressed it, and we're fixing that problem this year. So we're not going to have to worry about that ever again. We we basically had like 1,000 people show up at the same time on a 100-degree day, and the cops got involved. People started directing traffic that weren't our staff, and it was an absolute mess. But we dug through it.
Yeah, that first day was a nightmare. I will say that.
Oh my God, Friday. Oh well,
I waited in line for like 2.5 hours.
Right. And something. So every year you learn something new. Well, last year we had a brand new fire marshal, and a brand new fire marshal. He's excited. You know what I mean? He's coming in. He's going to do the best of his job. So he came in, and we didn't have lighted exit signs on our open-sided tents for registration and for a t-shirt booth that didn't open until Saturday. So they shut the show down. So at 2:00 when we were supposed to open, we weren't even approved to open the gates because the fire marshal hadn't released the show.
That helped cause a backup, huh?
Oh man, we went and bought lighted signs. I mean, we're hanging lighted exit signs in 10 by 10, structured tents. It was an absolute. It was every nightmare we've ever had. Then you throw 100 degrees on top of it. Well, the other downside to that is we couldn't move this stuff under our registration tents. So at 2:00, we got approved about 2:15 from the fire marshal. We got everything moved under the tent. 2:30, 2:35, somewhere in there. Melinda said, "Let's start registration." She was ready. Her girls were ready. We fired it up. AT&T's internet crashed on us. So that put us back some more. And then, and then we get guys that get there at noon. You know what I mean? I get it. I've stood in line when I was 15 years old. I stood in line 15 hours for a Def Leppard concert. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's just what you do, and I don't know, the heat, everybody kind of got upset. So either way, we all made it through it. Nobody died. And we had a hell of a show. Saturday was when zero hiccups at the event. And I couldn't be more proud of my staff and the participants. I mean, the participants alone, that you guys are the ones that makes the show,
Yeah.
We appreciate it. It's a great show. I've been there for many years, and I will always continue.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and we appreciate the support. That's and spreading the word. That's what makes stuff grow, and we're going to continue to produce, a top-notch event as long as we absolutely can.
Yeah. Now, did you tell me, or did I miss it, around about how many audio cars were there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So on the registration, you get to pick which area of the thing you're interested in. Mm-hmm. So there's about 850 last year that were just audio vehicles.
Wow.
Right.
And some of them would have been elsewhere too, right?
Correct. And we have a lot of crossover. So if a guy's coming and he's a competitor in the car show and he wants to go run through, let's say, a lane and find out what his system will do, he can run over and go. So we don't track those. So coming through the organizations and going back and forth between the orgs, oh my gosh. I mean, it's in the thousands for sure.
Man, there's just nothing close to that.
Trust me, Dwight, after you go your first time, you will make it a regular show every year. The first time I went there, I was like, OMG, I can't believe this many bass heads and this much community actually gets together and has fun. It's an amazing show. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it, but it's an amazing show.
Yeah, exciting. And we've got some other things in the works this year too that's going to add more action. So none of that's confirmed yet, but I can promise you the stuff that if we add it, it's going to be a whole nother level of, oh my God, I can't believe this is going on here. And then obviously, we have the custom semi show that comes back every year. And for an audio enthusiast to go and look at $1 million semi that's got, I don't know, the one semi had, I don't know, 30 WS or JLs under the trailer. And it's just crazy. I mean, that's just everybody's crazy about everything there. Yeah. Next level, everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's off the hook. That's a lot of cars, man. I don't know of another show that even comes close to that.
No, not on the audio side for sure. Car show wise, there's a couple that are in the United States that are similar to size of that. Because I mean, on the car show side, we're still in the thousands, and there's so much crossover. So it's hard to tell. But on the audio side, for sure, that's Mecca the last couple years has confirmed, like, hey, you guys, Steve Stern has been like, hey, you guys are hands down by far the largest car stereo contest in the world, which,
oh yeah,
I mean, we hold that for sure. And it's funny,
I've waited in line for many of years.
Right. And I personally attend, all events all across the country, audio events, and like a lot of the West Coast ones and stuff. People are like, oh, this is the West Coast Slam, and I'm like, man, you guys have got to come and see what we're doing to compare it to that, because it's not the same, especially when you encompass 260 acres.
Right. Yeah, it's a blast. I've only been twice. last year and the year before, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome.
I missed the rain year.
Yeah, you missed Rainology year. That's all right. That's
2019 was Rainology.
And you know what, man? That year, everybody rocked it, man. We all stayed. And we had a good time.
That's
it
what
killed
I
our
heard.
spectator gate, and it killed our spectator gate. It ate into my personal savings pretty bad, but whatever. It is what it is. We kept chugging forward.
Still.
And man, the audio competitors, man, like it was amazing. Like when I got there on Sunday morning and it was a monsoon, and I look out and man, there's still 500 people in the parking lot raging, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. We couldn't ask for a better crowd.
Yeah. Well, we're real excited to come, man. We really are really excited. Last year when I came, I came to meet people to try and get myself into the event, and I didn't know it was going to happen until just a week or so ago, and even months ago I didn't know. When we were talking originally, I didn't know. So we're real excited to be able to come.
Oh, yeah, and to have Base Wars, you guys are bringing some new blood to the plate.
I hope so.
Which is cool. We've had multiple people come to us and say, "Hey, we need something new. It's getting stagnant. It's the same thing over and over." And man, the Midwest scene is on fire. And I think, Billy, you and I have talked about that a few times. Like this area is booming. So to bring you guys in here and to add more to the plate is just going to be amazing. I want to know more about your organization. I'm sure everybody else does too. So why don't you guys tell us what makes you different and what's really going to attract people to your lanes at Slamology?
Well, for one thing, we're very laid back. There aren't any rules. There's really just one, and that one rule really is if you have you put the sensor where you like in front of your front seat location. Meaning if you take your front seat out, it's got to go in front of where it was. That is literally it. We hand you the meter and just say, you do you kind of thing. And so, there's just no rules.
Right. Now, how are the classes?
Classes
broke up like that?
Yeah. Okay. So our classes, for the most part, are done by cone area plus port area.
And power.
Then that goes it's cone plus port, right? And that puts you into a class, right? And then we add a power element to it. And basically what that's saying is if you've got two 12s and you've got 2,500 watts, which is adequate power for two 12s most of the time, then you're in this class. But if you have gobs extra, you bump up one. So if you have, say that cutoff is 3,000 watts. If you have 3,001 watt, you bump up one. But if you have 3 million watts, you still only bump up one class.
Okay.
So cone area and port area, cone and port added together is king for us. And we have
awesome.
Yeah, and then we have some demo classes where you got to play music and you have to peak within a certain frequency, right? And that's the different classes. It's not a power or cone area; it's just the frequency.
Oh, nice.
So those big demo guys, that's what this is for them.
Right.
And then we also have what we call Demo Dominator too.
Yeah, we may not be able to do that there.
I don't know about Slamology. That'd be pretty hard to do.
That class is it's nothing to do with a meter, but we picked 3 judges. And so if somebody enters the Demo Dominator class, those judges go ask for demos, right? And if they get a demo, then they give them a score 0 to 100. Come back, give it to the judge.
Oh, I got you. So shitting on them does an award or a demo god or whatever.
Yeah,
kind of along those same lines. Very cool.
But that show's so big, I don't know if the judges be able to find.
Oh no,
the people.
It's hard, and I know the guys from shitting. I mean, they have a hard time themselves. You know what I mean? They have 4 judges, and you see those guys at the end of the day on Saturday after they've been judging and pouring sweat, and they're just like, oh, there's too much here. We can't stay up with all the demo vehicles.
Right.
Which is cool.
That's the short and sweet of us. Yeah.
Hey, that's exciting. That's exciting.
And it depends when we get there. We have free reruns on the norm. So once you pay to go, you go as many times as you can.
Right.
Come on back.
I mean, we'll have a certain cutoff time, but you can rerun as many times as you want for free.
Right. Slamology. And then that's what I think a lot of audio guys don't understand that. And we've been pushing it for years is Slamology is all inclusive. You want to run Iasca, Mecca, Base Wars, any Usaki, you can run all of them run in every single one of them for the same price that you paid to get into the gate. Now, a few of the other organizations, they charge for some reruns and some other stuff, but if you're set up and ready to go, you can go and run and try to do 4 organizations. Now, we keep track of that through the organization's post event, and we've only had 5 participants ever compete in all 4 organizations. So it's a hard one to do. You guys know, especially you get wrapped up in some of those competitions. You might be in a lane for 2 hours, and man, the clock just ticks, because at 6 o'clock we shut the show down, because Brownsburg, the community we're in, they're done with us by 6 o'clock. They're ready for us to go home.
Well, by that I meant for us, like if you run and something goes wrong, no problem, run again.
Oh, nice.
Don't work out, run again.
Nice.
If we got a big line, drive off, get back in line, come run again.
Oh, cool.
And usually towards the end of the show, we say no more reruns. That's just to make sure everybody that hasn't ran can run. Right. It may be a little different at Slamology, just depending on the size, but we don't.
Yeah, you guys will have to adjust. I'm pretty sure you'll have some pretty good lane sizes.
Yeah, we don't clamp, so we'll be running people through there a lot quicker than other people are used to.
Oh, nice. So it's right. Not as many rules, a little less stressful, and just come out and have a good time. So a lot of the car show guys, would this be an area for them to come and get an accurate reading on their meter? Yeah. We have a ton of those guys with show cars, man. They have 412s in them. They have no clue. You know what I mean? They get in it and they listen to some Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? It's halftime Super Bowl show for those guys half the day. And then they have no idea what their systems are running. And all the time they'll ask the car show judges, like, how do I get my stuff metered? And then we send them over. And I think a lot of people get lost in those lanes and don't really know
my favorite phrase about Base Wars is we bring the fun back to the lanes.
Awesome.
Well, we definitely bring a laid back.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but that it's truthful.
Right. Cool. Well, let's have some fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it will be.
That's cool. I don't have any more questions for you guys. I mean, I'm sure once we get more people on here and get people popped up or whatever. Do you guys have anything else for me before we bring in all the fun people?
No, we're good.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, fellas, we're super stoked about you guys being here, man. Like I said, it's amazing. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a huge step up and a change for us this year.
Yeah, we're excited, man. We are too.
We're excited too. Cool. So let's bring in Jon. Let him come in and kind of explain what his company does.
Yeah. Hey, Jon.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Great.
Man, you look like you're hiding in an RV. Are you hiding?
Dude, I am. There's like 56 kids inside. Yeah. I got to run. I got on here earlier just to make sure it was going to work, and he was watching like the little one crawl all over me and shit, and I was like, I got to fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went to the trailer in the side yard, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I guess everybody, this Jon Rabe, he owns Rabe, right? Am I saying it right?
Robbie. It's all right. I think Robbie. People in my whole life done it right.
Yeah, everybody says that. I know the right way to say it, and I still fuck it up. So it's
all good.
Yeah. So either way, he owns Skyhigh Car Audio. Jon, you take the floor, man. Tell everybody about who you are and what you do. You have an amazing story how you got started. I think something. Yeah, maybe you touch base on.
I guess it's I'm 10 years into doing Skyhigh now. I started it when I was in college, and it was really just a fuck around for me. I wanted to do car stereo shit. I wanted a cool truck. I wanted to have money to do like custom shit, and I didn't. I guess I never anticipated being where we are now. But like you said, it's 10 years of Top Ramen, and I haven't been on Top Ramen for 10 years, but 5 years Top Ramen. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride, and I guess like my favorite thing to tell everybody is they're like, where do you see yourself? You know, like I have all these meetings and like I'm trying to get a new building or whatever. We're building one now, but before I was trying to get a building and they're like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because I'm 25 years old trying to rent a building that's, $20,000 a month or whatever. And they're like, not going to fucking happen.
Right.
You know? And I don't dress up for anyone and I don't cleanse my mouth for anyone. I just am what I am. And if you don't like it, leave type of guy. And when people are like, where are you going to be in 5 years? I'm like, literally, if I would have told you 5 years ago where I am now, I would just be cocky. And I don't want to be that. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be. And 10 years go by, and Donnie, I've known Donnie we were part of that pre-drag strip piss off the car guys. That was our first year.
In the oval track, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the dually making people's ears cry.
yeah, I mean, Slam's been a big part of what we've done. I think. I don't know why it's us that has done so well. You know, we've kept growing. We've done all the right things, and a lot of hard work and a lot of really good people involved in it. But something to say about Slamology and the advertisement that we gained from them, and the shake hands, kiss babies thing all weekend, and we really put all of our eggs in one basket. We really just do Slam and like our own barbecues out here, and we do a couple West Coast shows, and like we don't really go hog wild with it. So the whole Slam thing's been
company though, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and so it's all the eggs in one basket. I'm an all or nothing guy, and we're just going to keep doubling down. And Donnie called and asked if we wanted the top spot, and I think I told him I have to call you back, but I already knew. Yeah, and I made him sit on those coals for a bit, and then so
that's great. And it is crazy, dude. Right, and it started over a blind email to my desk. It's been about 8 years ago now, I guess.
I was like 22, loading up a 40,000-pound trailer with no CDL, driving across the country, not knowing what we were going to do, and we came home with like more money than I ever seen. So I'm like, we're doing it. So,
right, and calling like, I blew 2 tires in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
not ready for what happened.
Calm down, man. It'll be all right. You guys will make it here.
And we bought a truck and a trailer and loaded that shit and fucking sent it.
Right. It blows my mind, and I know you and I have kind of got a pretty good personal relationship since that time. But I mean, how cool it is to see a guy that comes in and buys a 60-foot vendor spot, and in less than 10 years is our top sponsor. Not knocking off a pretty big name off of the top of the sponsor.
Obviously, they're way bigger than me, and Kicker's way bigger than me, and I nothing against them, but I think we've built the relationship, and we've been there for long enough to imply some loyalty there, and that goes to you, Donnie, saying like you could have taken more money from Kicker than me, I'm guessing, and so buying some loyalty over time, that goes fucking real far.
Oh yeah, no, and it means the world to us, and I think any of our sponsors that you talk to, even outside of the guys that we talked to tonight, we've got a 90% retention rate on vendors. So usually, if a vendor doesn't return to Slamology, either they're having a baby, their kid's graduating, or they're out of business. Like we never.
Dude, I got all 3 of those.
Yeah, right. And you still make it.
And he was still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think Amanda would give birth at the show. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
she almost gave birth the one year. I think she was laying in the ice out there, super pregnant.
Yeah.
That was the rainology year when it got hot and humid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then your family's always a big part of it. Your dad camps across the street at the campground.
Yep.
Staying to the hotels. I mean, all the stuff. You guys have just grown to be a huge part of our family, and most of the guys on your staff, everyone on our staff knows, and that even goes to the guys out front in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I just
your guys roll in. Your guys roll in with a bag full of sausage biscuits every morning and throw them at my staff. It's already ate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
You guys have become part of the family, and it means the world to us. And I think the Base Wars guys, I mean, as you guys are here around a little longer, you'll see that this family, we all try to help feed each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I like biscuits too, so it's all good.
Hey, that's
shit.
Good.
Not as much as me. I'm filling this whole camera, my guy. We need to get Andrew in here, make it look a little skinnier.
You just got to move the camera back. It makes you look skinnier.
Yeah.
Right.
The trailer's only so big.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, John, how many people do you bring to Slamology to work?
It varies. I think on our biggest year we brought 14 or 15.
Yeah, because
it's crazy, man. It's wild. Sometimes like it's obviously like there's ups and downs, but when it gets crazy, dude, it's fucking. We're selling 100 t-shirts in 5 minutes. Like it's crazy as shit.
Yeah.
And this year we're gonna set up 2 locations. I'm gonna have a location in the audio section and in the car show section. So we're gonna pull 2 trailers out there, 2 tents, 2 sets of staff. So
wow.
This will be.
That's
hopefully good.
Yeah.
But we always get a house and we get all the guys, and it's good to put face with all the names and meet all of our distributors, like people that we haven't met or dealers. They all come by, and it's invaluable to do some face-to-face business, which it doesn't really exist anymore. So that goes a real long way. At some place you can spend $500 if you're a normal person and just get a plane ticket there, and you can meet, say you meet one connection. You sign up an account at Skyhigh, whatever. we do $20,000 in business next year. You make 20,000 on that 20,000. Cool. You paid your 500 and you didn't only meet me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's really hard to find a place with that many people in one industry that are looking to do business or meet people or, just have a connection. So
Absolutely.
as far as an investment in business, it goes fucking really far. So
Yeah.
we have a better time there than we do like at SEMA or CES, even just because SEMA and CES are wild. It's fucking crazy, big, huge. You can't find anyone. Slam's like, it's big, but it's you want to go meet audio people, you go to one section. It's only so big. You know what I mean? If you're there to, better yourself or do something or, figure out how to make more money next year, then it's pretty simple to figure out. So it's been worthwhile for us for sure.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, last year I came with two goals. One was to get myself to be part of this show, and the other one was to get myself into the Sundown show, and both of them happened.
Cool.
For us, it was worth the drive too.
Yeah.
I drove. Yeah.
Oh, I drive.
I never want to drive again.
7.5 hours there. But
7.5.
Small show. That's a small show. Going to Scraping the Coast, that's almost a 19-hour drive for me. But I make it every year as well.
It's the week after Slamology, right? This year?
2 weeks after.
2 weeks after. It's always 2 weeks after.
Yep. Always 2 weeks after. And that's an amazing show too. That's a hardcore show. That Southern truck crowd.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I haven't been personally with it being 2 weeks after the show, we're still cleaning the mess up, but I'm so tired and I'm 16 hours from Biloxi. You know what I mean? Like by the time I hop in the car, I'm like, man, I just can't do it. And the last time we went down there, it was so hot I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die. And I said,
right,
man, I just paid a couple $1,000 to come sit in a hotel room. I'm not going to do that again. So
yeah,
I'll make it back down there one of these days.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. The venue, I think the whole venue would probably fit in that one parking lot that the audio's in. It's not as big, nearly as big a venue.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But it's a lot, and it's really cool.
In the parking lot.
The audio lot, it's 1 million square feet. So if you guys get on Google Maps, Lucas Oil Raceway, and just do that lot, it's exactly 1 million square feet. So it's pretty crazy because when we first moved everything over there, we did a live video and people kept asking, how big is it? How big is it? And then Lindsay and Denise, they walked it off one time and we did the math. It was 1 million square feet. It was like, my God, this place is huge. And it's not even the biggest part of the venue. You know what I mean? Compared to the car show sides, one half of the venue where the main stage is at and all that. And you look at the two when you lay them out, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. And if nobody's been, I encourage them, like, get online, go look at Lucas Oil Raceway and just know we fill it front to back full of nothing but car audio junkies and custom car junkies and custom semi guys. We have some change into the custom semis this year. We're expecting our largest custom semi crowd ever, and most of those rigs are $1 million. And that's the first thing you see when you walk into the show. Our main stage lineup is good. I mean, everything that's coming into play. And then, like I said, we're trying to open up another part of the venue that hasn't been open before. So we'll see if some of that might happen, which is going to be a huge announcement. So
and I'll tell you, as far as the audio goes, I bet the average there is probably 6 or 8 15s size wise.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
I would say at least probably 6 and above.
Man, I mean, it's like you walk by something that is absolutely amazing. And you're like, oh, well, saw that, saw something like that, 10 cars back in for 10 cars ago, it is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I bet the average SPL is 65, 62, 61 average, I bet.
I'd say 60.
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's a lot loud. It's a lot loud.
Yeah, it is. But believe me, we get noise complaints from like up to 5 miles away. So I know there's a great video on YouTube that happened years ago when we were in the circle track. And John's pretty responsible for this video happening, but excess power. So we had a local neighborhood call. They went to our website. The first phone number they found, they went to our sponsor and vendor page. Well, excess power, for some reason, we had their phone number on there that year. The lady called and left a voice message on their machine asking them to turn the bass down. If you go to YouTube and search Slamology, rattle in the windows, excess power. I'm telling you right now, it's the best laugh of your week. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
It's they did this whole mix with rattle in the windows, and they did a bunch of people getting demos at the show and that type of stuff. But it was awesome, and I say Skyhigh's on there a few times with some of John's stuff that he had out there that year.
Yep, that was back in the day when I had the old big truck with 1215s. That was before demoing was cool, and everybody didn't like that.
That was my last demo, and never again.
Yeah, that's good.
Remember
you want to go for riding the GCR?
Well, never again there either.
Yes.
I was just telling Amanda that story. She's like, "No, they're really sticky," and I'm like, "Ask Donnie."
Yeah, no. I'm an old man. I don't fuck with John anymore, man. I will Uber anywhere he's gonna be an Uber home, man. I don't get in a car with him with a stereo system or a car with this fast. I'm done.
What about a side by side?
Yeah, no. Well, there's a reason I haven't been out
off
to
that wall at your place with that side by side. I was like, yes,
Yep.
I want in that shit.
Yeah.
No, Andrew comes back from the desert crying to me every time, man.
I mean, whatever.
Well, that's cool. So you guys want to introduce Jeremy now from Kicker?
Yeah, let's bring Jeremy on. Everybody knows Jeremy from Kicker, right? Jeremy Wynn.
What's happening, guys?
Hey, sir.
Man, you're like a perfect audio in the studio.
Yeah, he's like mic'd
He's
up.
in stereo.
Right.
Sorry, fellas. I had to do it.
And bring that next level game, make us all
Yeah.
look out here and shit.
Yeah, I got studio monitors kind of right over there, and like everybody else, we're like they're all right here, but he's like boom, both places. I'm like, wow, where?
I'm over here in a single wide.
Right?
Oh, it's awesome, and Jeremy, I mean personally, I know I've told you a million times. I'm gonna tell you in front of a huge audience. We can't thank you enough for you guys stepping up and giving us the opportunity to have your logo even next to ours. It means the world, and it shows that Kicker cares about the audio community, and you guys care about Slamology, and you know the value that's here. You know what I mean? We're not just a bunch of idiots out here making noise. We're it's viable business and it's community, and you guys are a huge part of that. I know since I've been growing up, I've been a Kicker fan. I worked at a little stereo shop in high school, man, and we had our little team Kicker at the audio bar, and it was awesome. So it's I guess the brand's probably been around longer than any of us.
Yeah, definitely me.
Me too.
It's one of our major sponsors.
He started when I was born.
Yeah. No, man, I'm excited. I like to think I'm kind of a small part for the reason that we are stepping up this year. But, I was trying to think back a second ago. I think, honestly, we had been there, was it just 2 years? So far, I know the first year we were inside what I like to call the Triangle of Death, the loudest part of the car show. I swear. And then that next year we moved outside of there, but I couldn't remember, and I think that year was rainology or floodology.
That would have been 2018, right?
Yeah. And 2019, right?
It was 19, yeah.
No, 19 wasn't. 18 was the floods.
Okay.
18 was the floods. 19. I mean, it rained a little bit, but 19's the year that was the year prior to COVID. So we had a pretty good year. That
okay.
Rained a little
So
bit
yeah.
on Saturday afternoon.
So then we would have been there 19, but really just, man, every time that I'd been, and since I'd been coming, I'd been looking forward to getting our name on more things than just what we had been doing. So this is pretty exciting for me, honestly.
Oh, we're excited to have you, man. I just beyond myself, and for everybody out there that does, I guess, you tell everybody what you do at Kicker, because in my opinion, you probably have one of the coolest jobs on the planet. You do the fun stuff that business owners do for a break. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you don't have to sit behind a computer all day and type keys, man. I mean, I know you got a part of that in your life, but
yeah,
your
it definitely,
is probably, in my opinion, one of the coolest jobs at Kicker.
It definitely keeps me busy. So I'm the events and promotions manager. I am the primary semi-truck driver. So pretty much anything on the event side, when it comes to getting that rig somewhere or physically setting up events, that's me. You know, I'm also the guy in here every Tuesday night doing the Unmasked show, making sure the StreamYard feed's running.
Absolutely.
Watching comments come in, popping comments up. The reason I'm the only guy in here is because I know how to set this studio up. So I've been a big part of that too. But yeah, it's a little bit of everything. You know, I've gone as far as whenever they need a hand in the shop in the back, I can do any of that stuff. I love to fabricate. Honestly, I sometimes wish that was my job, but you know, that hasn't been how it works out. So, you know, I love the event part of it. It's cool, and that's been something tough for me over the last couple years that we haven't been able to travel a whole lot. You know, we got out last year just a little bit whenever stuff started to die down. But man, I remember one of the first times talking to you, Donnie, in a while, and you had made a comment about 2 years. And I hadn't put it together, and no one had really said that out loud like that to me, that, man, it's been 2 years, or it's going to be 2 years since you've been here.
Right.
And now it's going to be 3 years, actually.
Right.
And it, you know, it's a shame, honestly, but it is what it is. But it is mind-blowing to me that it's been 3 years since we've been to the show. So I am looking forward to getting out there. The biggest thing I miss are the relationships, and seeing the people and the interaction with the consumers and hanging out with everyone at the show. That's stuff that I've missed dearly over the last couple of years.
Right, and you know, I've told you every year, like, I miss you guys so bad being at the event. And man, there's just something about when the Kicker semi comes rolling into your show. I could be side. I'm not even going to be cheesy, man, but you know what I mean? It's just like a sense of pride, just to know that that's coming in, and then you see the line of people outside the boom. You know, I guess a boom room, is that what you guys call it?
Yep. Yeah, the boom room.
And the line outside, and there's families out there, and I mean, it's just amazing. It's I don't know. Like I said, I can't personally thank you enough, and I know that every sponsor and everybody else that I've talked to is ecstatic that you guys are doing what you're doing for the industry.
Awesome.
It means the world to see Kicker back in car audio on a competitive level and on an enthusiast level. Yeah,
and you know, I've only been with Kicker now just over 6 years, and so you know, things go in different directions. They did in the past, and I know personally for me, I'm looking forward to it coming back around, bringing some cool product out that is, I think, going to be a big part of especially what this show's about. So really looking forward to that. I know just over the last couple years, with some of that stuff coming out and us doing the show in here in the studio, Unmasked Live, it's also gained a lot of respect, I think, back in the community for Kicker and the name, which has been pretty cool.
For sure.
So,
for sure. Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited. I know the baseball guys, you guys too, man. So it's
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, we're ecstatic that Base Wars is going to be there. Absolutely.
Yeah, we are too. That's going to be cool. Awesome.
We're going to do what we can to make it cool. I promise you.
Oh, it's going to be good stuff. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. That's I was kind of nervous about coming on here. My wife's like, "Quit being nervous." She's like, "They're the ones that are going to be nervous." I was like, "They have nothing to be nervous for. They're doing what they do." It's good.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I don't do this. I don't know how many times you guys have seen me in front of the camera. It's probably close to zero. And honestly, tonight it was like, no, this is going to be fun. I wasn't even a bit nervous. And honestly, if it was one of our regular shows Tuesday night, I'd be so nervous you probably wouldn't even get me up here, even if I was scheduled to be up here. So I knew tonight was just going to be a fun time hanging out. So
yeah. Well,
we
our show
appreciate
is just
on.
like our org, was just laid back. But
Yep.
I'll tell you, and we've done over 100 of these now. This is our 101st episode.
wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, isn't it? We forgot last year. Last week I didn't recognize it was our 100th. We'd done something special. But when I came up there, it was a wholly different ballgame. You know, I was a little nervous when I was in your studio. It was different. You got to watch the little red light. Which camera is it?
Oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have anybody here tonight jacking with my cameras. So yeah.
Right. He was not back there flicking the cameras on you or something.
Nope.
Ernie, I'm sorry.
Poor Kip. Kip was leading me, and he would make these motions on camera like, wow, but he was really pointing me to look at that camera, not this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
He covered it up well.
That's awesome.
It was cool. But we've done it a lot, so I don't really get nervous. But I got nervous when I came to the studio that night. And did not expect to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous as shit. I've had a stressful day already, so I know John was nervous. I got 2 text messages in one day, man.
Hey, I was just nervous about getting on here, like getting it working.
Right.
I hate being on camera, but whatever.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, since I don't get on here personally. I use whenever we run Tuesday nights. It's Kicker's log in through StreamYard, and I went to get on, and I had set up everything a couple hours ago and had time to run home and have dinner. And I come back and I'm like, okay, well, I have about 10 till. I'm going to go ahead and get on. I go to log into StreamYard, and it says, oh, we need to validate, to make sure for security. And I'm going, well, I don't have a YouTube, and I went to log in through Facebook, and Bill's account was in there through Kicker, and I was like, well, I don't want to log in through Bill's account if something pops up on his end, and so I kept trying to go back to get it to refresh so I could log in through my Facebook, but it wouldn't kick Bill's off of there. So I finally, after about 5 minutes of messing with it, was able to log in through my Google account on the YouTube side of it, and it worked. So,
yeah,
but
that's awesome.
But boy, I
turned off on Chrome, so I had the same thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. So you guys want to bring in Andrew yet?
Absolutely.
Let him. I guess. Does anybody else got anything? There you go.
Got him already.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, Daddy.
So I got all the cups of coffee, and I almost fell asleep here. And then I was listening to everybody's stories, and I was like, well, at least I'm not the only nervous one here. But I have to say, though, if you didn't know, John's birthday was yesterday, so everybody has to say happy birthday to John.
Happy birthday, John.
Because they'll love that. Happy birthday, John.
Day late.
Yeah, thank you. That being said, in a little bit, I'm going to have to get off because I got people coming over. You don't want Amanda on here, I'll tell you.
Party,
Yeah, we do.
Party's in the house. Then.
Hey, if them steaks get done and I ain't in there, whew,
Miss
I mean,
out.
Amanda could
and I
replace
missed
you.
a lot of meals, you guys can tell, I know, but not as many as Andrew.
That's a fact.
Why are you turning red?
Fact. Why am I turning red? I was pretty entertained with your stories here.
Dude, you want to go camping?
Don't. you
I'm in
mentioned the
Andrew's
story
house.
about-
He texted me a little bit ago.
Yeah. He's literally in my house right now.
Yeah. When he comes out, he's going to stay in here.
Yeah. No, going trail riding with John will definitely change your orientation. Donnie was not wrong with that. I don't go with John places because it'll rearrange your appreciation.
Hey, Joel's here. He said some derogatory things to you, Andrew.
That's fine. That's good. I like
I
that
can't even
everybody loves
repeat
me.
it. And you know, if
Every
I can't
time I've-
repeat it, it's bad.
Every time I've ever gotten on this stream, somebody always says something, whether it's Luch or it's Dan or whoever it is. I pop in here. I'm like, hi guys, like how's it going? And then we were on this like nice level plane of it being really level, and then I come on and it's like, dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's unsubscribing probably, too.
That's right.
Dan gets on here every week, and he just ruins it for everybody.
I got stories though, so that's the best part of it all. Sadly, though, I will say there's probably not going to be a plane flying around Slamology this year. Been done, can't be done again. So, if you know, you know.
There's not going to be a plane.
Yeah.
It's going to be planes.
Planes,
Totally different, right?
That is good.
Yeah, if you guys
That is
didn't see that, you really missed it.
Oh, that was
That's
amazing.
the absolute highlight of my whole life.
good. That's factual. That is the number one thing that has come out of
I
Slamology.
literally called Lindsay, and she's like, he's in a meeting with NHRA. I'm like, I don't care. Get him out. I can't. I'm like, no, get him outside now. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, look up. She's like, oh, I'm walking in.
Yeah. He
That
told
was
me
the best thing money could buy right there.
Yeah.
I guess does everybody listening even know what happened? I don't even know.
I missed it.
I bet they don't.
Go ahead. Tell them a story, Donnie. Happened to you.
You want me to start at CES like 5 years ago?
What year?
Right.
Oh, you don't even know. It started before that, actually, but yeah.
But with me, it started. We were having dinner at Caesar's. John had blown a tire out on his truck, something, and I was like, man.
I had to change the axle shaft on the side of the road. It was terrible.
Right. Either way, it was, man, I know enough dudes in Vegas. Let me take a look at it. Let me see if I can get you a hookup, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We get to the car. I climb up in the back of this big-ass four-wheel drive that's, 4 foot taller than my leprechaun ass. So
it's 4'3".
Yeah, right. I climb up in the back of this truck, and he goes, man, it's right here on the wheel. And he points down at it, and I'm like, what? And he's like, right there, look at it. And I was like, what? And he's like, Sprechen Sie Dick. And I'm like, what? And everybody on his crew, man, there's like 20 dudes standing there. Everybody loses their shit. And I'm like, oh, my God. So that started the Sprechen Sie Dick pass around, basically what was going on. And
you try to con somebody into looking for something that's not there, so you can tell them that they missed it, and then
basically, right. And it comes from Step Brothers, right?
Yeah,
the show Step Brothers. So either way, we've been going back and forth, handygrams, boxes shipping back and forth to each other with Sprechen Sie Dick.
Pizza deliveries.
Yeah, so we did get him Ginger one year. Well, we didn't get you.
It was Andrew.
It was Thomas.
It was Thomas.
Oh, no, yeah, it was Thomas.
Right.
Yeah, it's Thomas.
So my wife, Ginger, she's really the brains behind Slamology. She runs the office. Yeah, right. So, but everybody doesn't know her. So she doesn't work in the show field. She doesn't meet all the vendors, blah, 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 blah. So we're leaving the show on Sunday, and you guys had Sprechen Sie Dick something at the show, and I don't remember what it was, and was like, we're going to deliver him a pizza. And I called Andrew, and I'm like, hey, where's the house John's staying at? He gave us the address to the house. We go, and
that's why I got a gated community this year.
Yeah, right. Ginger shows up the door, knocks on the door, and she's like, hey, I got your pizza. And Thomas O'Brien, he goes, well, we didn't order a pizza. And I'd taken one piece out of it. And she opens it up and shows it to him, and she goes, Sprechen Sie Dick. And she slams the pizza down and hands him the pizza. And it's hilarious because she gets back in the car and she sits down and she goes, that man has the most beautiful eyes of anybody I've ever seen.
That is true. That's funny.
Right. If you know him, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to steal this part of your body and put it on me. So either way, it's continued to roll over and over, joke, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then last year, John and Andrew get together and they ripped one of the airplanes.
No, that was payback. So
I got him with my dad's truck with the lift bed too.
Oh
Yep.
That was just a teaser, dude. That was like his fried mushroom at dinner.
That was a teaser. But so if you ever go to Slamology, you'll see all of the staff members have these bright neon green staff shirts that say Slamology on it. And for years, I've been trying to get Donnie to give me one. I was like, dude, like, what do I
Omar the tent merchant doesn't make them. That's the problem.
That is factual. That is an excuse he actually used. But I've been trying for years and years to get a staff shirt for Slamology. And Donnie does like a really cool like vendor plaque if you sponsor the show, and I mean it's kind of like their appreciation. It's a really nice like thank you for sponsoring Slamology.
Andrew's really into appreciation awards and participation awards.
Show him your office.
Thanks for that.
You still got your 4th grade soccer one?
You ruined everything.
Fact. So this box shows up from Donnie, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I pick it up, and there's a box inside of it, and in that box is this award. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, that's all. This is really nice. And there's a nice letter that he wrote. It makes you feel really warm and fuzzy. And I look, and then there's this bright green shirt in the bottom of the box, and I was like, no way. Like, could this finally be the day? And I pull it out of the box, and I hold it up. And it's a medium. It's a medium shirt. You turn it around on the back. It says Sprechen Sie Dick written on a marker. I was like, okay. They gave me a medium. So this has been going round and around and around. And we were at Fogo de Chao last year, and we had like 18 people. And I don't know if you've ever been to Fogo de Chao with 18 people, but that's a lot of people to be Fogo de Chao.
Fogo de Chao.
And Yeah. And the idea, I think it was John's idea, kind of came up to rent a plane that says Speckensy Dick on a banner behind the plane. It's going to fly around. And Tony makes the call, and he's on the phone with the guy, and the guy's like, "What do you want it to say?" And Tony's like, "Sprechen Dick," and the guy's like, "What?" He's like, "It's German, Sprechen Dick," and he's like, "Well, what does it mean?" He's like, "It's an inside joke." He's like, "We can't put dick on the air, like we can't do that, but we could do $. And Tony, like, he puts the phone down.
No, he said he had to check with the FAA.
Yeah. So he's like, "Is everybody okay with that?" And John's like, yeah. And Tony's like, "Yeah, that'll work." And the guy goes, "I got to check with the FAA. I'll call you back."
Yeah.
So hangs up the phone, calls us back. Long story short, it's kind of a high price tag. I look at John. I was like, "I'll pay half. We're in this together."
Yeah.
So the next day, we're waiting, and like the minutes are ticking by. It's just like a lifetime. The minutes are ticking by, and then. Sure as shit, here comes the plane, and it's flying around, and everybody's looking at it, taking pictures of it. And on the back of it says Sprechen Dick. Donnie will never let it down. Cannot be beaten.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard to beat that.
I don't know how to top that, man. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be a challenge.
That's gold.
I don't think they can be beat.
Well, and that's
they can be beat.
That's part of the whole, the Slamology thing. It's like you guys kind of touched on it before. Is that, you make the trip, you spend the money, and regardless, anybody who's anybody, everyone who's big in the car audio scene, wanting to be big or has been around for a while, almost everybody is there, and like you will meet everybody. You come up to the booth, you talk to everybody, everybody's super friendly, and when everybody's super helpful. And John's done it, I've done it. People have come up there like, "Dude, my shit blew up, like I don't really got it." It's like, you know what, here, like just get your stuff running, have a good weekend, like we'll settle up later. You help the community out, and it's just such an amazing event to get out and really meet everyone, because it's somewhat centralized, and it's not the worst place to get to unless you're John and live in Reno, like 18,000 miles away. But and he's gonna drive through Nebraska.
Around.
Or not to drive through Nebraska.
Around.
But that's the thing about Slam. It's just there's so many people, and it's so much fun, and we always persevere. Either it's it's 110 degrees out with 90% humidity and everybody's dying, or it's it's a little bit of everything. See, Dan's in here. Dan's already heckling me.
Kurt's calling.
Here comes Dan.
Here we go.
He's been in here the whole time. I've just tried to hold it back.
He was the first comment. You guys didn't see it?
I can't even see the comments, man. I think I'm missing a whole other party.
That's okay. You put your other glasses on, Donnie, so you can see. You got to put your.
Literally, you're one to talk.
Yeah.
Are you on your phone, Donnie?
No, I'm on an iPad.
Well, I don't know about.
I'm on a phone and I can see him.
That's
true. Whatever, I can see myself.
You got to hit that comment button.
No, but I guess long story short, or short story long, Slamology is definitely, like John put it down. It's even for B2 Audio and everything that we do. It's the show. It's always in the list. It's always the one that we will go to, regardless. There's, we sponsor tons and tons of events and a lot of little events because, I really feel like a lot of them really matter, but Slamology is just like the big one. It's the SEMA of car audio. There's not a bigger show that you can go to or have a better time or see or, do or anything. So
that's awesome. Well, I appreciate all those kind words. That's amazing. That's
the only time it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm at my wake or if we're at an interview for base sports.
Right.
No, it's super awesome to get you guys there too. Donnie mentioned it the other day, and he was talking about base sports. I was like, yeah, I know those guys. Like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. He talked about it. I'm like, that's awesome, man. Like, the event never gets smaller; it only gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
We appreciate
It's the biggest event that we've been to as an organization. By far. I guess it's the biggest one anyway, so it makes sense. But
right.
I would say the biggest car audio show by far is Slamology.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just my personal opinion, but it is.
Well, right. Well, and that's and at any time, if we get too big, we lose quality. You guys got to be the first to speak up and let us know because size only means so much. I've seen a lot of shows over the years, and I've been a car show kid since I was 15 years old, man. So I've watched a lot of them. They grow so much in size, and then they get too big and they just fall off, or they lose what it's really about, and
they
we don't
forget what it's about. You're
right.
absolutely
And I'm a hardcore enthusiast. I'm day to day, every day in the office. Our entire business is focused on custom cars, car audio, Slamology. I mean, everything that I do. So I try not to lose grip, or try not to get a big head or something like that. It'd be pretty easy to do, but I tell people all the time, we're just people that come to work every day. I'm no different than somebody else that works at a gas station. I got to come in, I got to make my paycheck, and I'm just doing what I love, and what all of our crowd loves too, and hopefully we keep doing a good job, and input is what continues to let us know that, and especially from sponsors, vendors, everybody's got to let us know, like, hey, we're happy with this, we're not happy with that. So it means the world to us.
Well, it's huge, so you're doing something right.
Well, there's more to it than size, and I hope everybody sees that too. Is it's volume and quality. We really try to have the best event that we can, and try to make it streamlined, and everybody else has an amazing time. That's what's big to us.
I think
I
the
love
keyword,
watching kids leave and smiling, and that's where it's really at, because that's where it starts. Those are tomorrow's customers, and I was that kid walking through a car show with my dad at one point in my life as well.
Well, I think that what you bring to the whole scene is value. I mean, all around, for the spectators, for the competitors, for the vendors, there's a value there that, you can't beat it. I mean, there's not another event that I think of that has the same value for everybody all around. I mean, no matter who you are, what level, from entry level to the most seasoned competitor, from the smallest company to the biggest, car audio company out there, there's just value there, and that's a reason why we all keep coming back. That's why Donnie mentioned with the retention.
Not that it's the size, but it's good, so
right.
Everybody's coming.
It has value. I mean, it has value, and there's memories to be made. I can't tell you. I mean, Slamology is one thing, but it's everything else, man. It's the parking lot at the vendor hotel. It's who you run into and who you brush shoulders with, and I mean, there's been crazy nights and just parties going all time, and just all sorts of amazing stuff. And you always go back and you think and you talk about it, you tell your friends. It's like Jon was talking about way back in the day. It's like the first time you go to Slam and you come home and you're like, dude, it's the craziest thing ever. Like I saw this guy and I got a demo from this guy, and I watched this guy blow his subwoofer.
The first Slam we went to, Andrew, and I know you know this, but we got there like 3 days early because I was so deathly afraid of breaking down on the way. And we get in the vendor hotel, and me and my buddy were at the bar, and literally, here comes Jay from B2. Yeah. This is 8 years or 9 years ago, wherever it was, on a hoverboard, like when they were like the thing, And he's like riding through the bar, and like that's where I met Jay from B2. Yeah. And now, it was 5 years after that, we actually started carrying their brand and stuff, and just a weird connection that led to multi-million-dollar deals that. Like he was saying, it's big or small or whatever. You don't know who you're going to run into, but that's going to be a $10 million thing in 5 years. It's like, or you met somebody and sold them a set of RCAs for $10, but you put a face with a name and they're going to come shop with you again. So it's crazy. That's the diversity that's there that Andrew's talking about, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys are speaking of host hotel. I guess this is as good a place to announce as any. We have a new host hotel this year. It's the Wyndham Resort in Indianapolis. We have 400 rooms. It's got a bar, a restaurant. We have a full parking lot dedicated to nothing but Slamology. We're going to set up a Friday night and Saturday night party in the parking lot. So we haven't, our host hotel that we used to have turned into a crack hotel, and you could rent it cheaper by the hour than you could, to stay there by a night. So the COVID, with no COVID, and then last year we just no hotel was really ready to go back to full-time business. So full renovation on this, and it's amazing, and we've got them down. It's normally like a $220 a night hotel. They're doing $139 for participants to stay from Slamology, and I'm telling you guys, we are going to make this hotel amazing. I mean, it's like 15 minutes from the show, and it is I compare it to a casino without slot machines. I mean, obviously we're in Indiana, we don't have slot machines, but it's big, 400 rooms, huge banquet areas, a large pool, big parking lots. There's room for trailer parking. There's a couple other hotels right there off the exit, and it's nothing but trucking companies all the way around. So I'm not even going to say it out loud. And that's if you go to slamology.com, click on info and where to stay, you'll.
Denise just posted the link to the hotel.
I shared it right here.
Oh,
yeah, Shelly's in here watching us like a hawk.
Yeah, she
I'm
is.
telling you. I'm pretty sure Lindsay's going to come in here and tell us no.
I mean, where's
shit.
Lindsay? Bring me my golf
Yeah.
cart. Or
Or
jello shots. One or the other.
Yeah.
It's an and/or situation.
Yeah.
So Donnie pays for everything. Ginger runs the show, and then Lindsay's the sheriff. She enforces all the rules, and her job is literally to try to get John to not do things. That's and she brings her own jello shots too. But
you guys should employ Amanda. She does a lot better job than Lindsay does.
Yeah, Lindsay is our sponsor and vendor concierge at the show. Every day, all 365 or 363 days before the show, she is the show. Her and Ginger, like, you got the stuff that happens behind the scene. I mean, if any of you guys have done a couple shows or whatever, imagine processing 1,700 pre-registrations. Do that, and then you got to build a packet for each one of those person to pick up with stickers and custom made, everything. So it's a lot, and like I said, we've got an amazing staff that helps us to get to that.
Don't forget my boy Billy Bob.
Oh,
that's my guy.
Billy Bob's the man. So Billy Bob's one of our operations guys, and he's family. You guys just when you come here, introduce yourself to our staff. When you see the guys in the green shirts, stick your hand out, shake their hands, tell them thanks for being here. A lot of those guys, they've been by my side for 19 years, and they started as volunteers. And for about the first 12 years, not a one of them made a cent working with us. So once the show started growing and we started adding sponsors and stuff started going on, we got it to where, we could pay our employees a little bit of time to help. Not that any of them, they all have great full-time jobs, but it's something, you know what I mean? And hell, a few of them even still rip their checks up and throw it on my desk when they walk out on Monday after the show. So they're just like, whatever, man, we're here for the show. It's not about money to us. So it's cool.
Yes, Dan. I don't know what a butt man is, but the bourbon should be there.
He fixed it after that.
It's okay. They don't know how to spell where he's from.
He is from St. Louis.
Don't be rude to him.
Don't be rude.
He almost got me in trouble. He always sends me links to nice cars that are out there and says he'll go pick it up for me.
Who, Dan or me?
Yeah, both of you. No, actually,
both.
I sent the link to you. But Dan sends them to me.
So if you guys didn't see, John just randomly sends me a text message. He says, I'm in Minnesota. He messaged me. He says, how do you feel about going to Missouri this weekend? And I called him. I'm like, what do you mean going to Missouri this weekend?
Hey, if you guys are going to dance this weekend, let me know. I'll come.
Yeah.
No, it was like a couple weekends ago.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a couple weeks ago, and I drove through literally a snowstorm in the worst possible. So that huge snowstorm that hit
with the trailer.
Midwest.
Yeah.
I drove through the day after when it was blowing all the snow, and I mean I made a video about it. It was awful. I went down there, picked up a truck for John, drove back with 43-foot trailer and an OBS Ford and all this crazy stuff, and it was like the things you do for your friends, man. I just
Dang.
That's what I was telling you. Andrew will do whatever for the people that he likes, and I already tested that.
That's fact.
Anything?
I don't much care for John, but I mean,
I did tell him one
it's
time.
absolutely amazing.
We were at a hotel in Oregon or something, and he was convinced he was going to body slam me. And we're on the second story. You can imagine me laying on a bed, and Andrew standing on a dresser, going to jump onto me. He's going to body slam me like it's WWE. We're going through the floor.
Right.
It's over. Yeah, I mean, so he didn't do that, so that was good at least.
I was standing on the back of a chair. So there's the hotel room chair. I was standing on the chair.
That thing is begging for mercy.
I'm standing on the chair. I'm like, and you see Bobby Gately, who's in the hotel room with us. He slowly takes his phone out and he's like slow, not incognito. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And John's like, we will fall through the floor. The bed will break. We will go through the floor. And he wouldn't let me do it. He wouldn't let me elbow drop him. He wasn't. That was the weekend of Surf City out there. Another great show on the West Coast. Not as good as Slam, but definitely a good show.
Hey, on that note, I got to get off of here and go grab some dinner inside. I'm guessing everyone's in there.
Hey,
man,
give Amanda a hug
You
for
should-
us. Tell her thank you for letting us borrow you.
Oh, yeah, I'll be sure to.
So I think Amanda should come on here next time, and we can have a talk.
You might not want that. You might. I don't know. You can have it.
That's fine. I will take her back along with my dog.
Done. Drop the truck off. Trade you.
Done.
We would definitely like to have you back in here.
I'll come back on.
Time though, for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
See you, John.
Bye.
Hey, thank you, buddy.
Nice to
We'll
meet
see
you,
soon.
John. See you, man.
Bye.
Now, Andrew, what do you do at P2?
Everything.
Are you like the
So-
one that designs those little super chips that y'all put in that lets them do like eighth on?
What doesn't he do?
So, Jay, if you guys don't know who Jay is, Jay Holmes is the founder of B2. He started B2 about 12 years ago now, and I came on probably 5 or geez, it's been probably close to 6 years now. And it all started. I literally messaged Jay on Facebook over something stupid. I don't remember what it was. It was a simple message like, "Hey, man," and we just kind of started talking, and it just grew and grew and grew, and I started handling, some of the stuff on the state side that he wasn't really able to do, and the brand was growing, and we eventually ended up starting a whole other company over here, and essentially what I do is I run B2 Audio Incorporated, which is our U.S. based business, and I manage pretty much all of our interests in North America.
Okay.
So like John with Skyhigh Audio, he's like our West Coast distributor. I manage our, the account with John. I deal with all of our, product related issues, and then, manage the rest of the dealers throughout the country. And then we've got a retail store here in Minnesota. We kind of manage and deal with that. And then on the other hand, help manage B2 Audio as an overall. So product development and,
Everything.
just kind of where we're going with a lot of that stuff. So it's a lot. I do a lot with B2, but that's kind of the short story of how something as little as a Facebook message turned into I quit my day job, my career, and I do this full time now.
But you guys got to check out Jay Holmes' DJ sessions.
Yeah.
I love watching that. When he goes live with that, I tune in every time. I love watching that.
His acrobats are more interesting than his DJ. And have you seen him with his parkour or whatever the hell it is? He's out of control.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's like that guy that can do 100 push-ups on one arm doing a handstand.
He's very fit.
Right.
Like, we're on two different spectrums. Like he is a short, very fit man, and I am a not short, very unfit man. You see us walking together. You see me, Jay, and John, and it's like, what's going on here?
DJ John Holmes.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
But, who was it? Steve from Shitting on Him a few years back. So John made a post on Facebook about this whole giant. So it was talking about orders, and people were posting their orders online. So he thought it would be funny. And he went and he just grabs a bunch of pieces of paper, whole stacks, and there's a couple of full reams. And he's like, these are all my orders. Well, Steve Barber took that picture and he put it on a shirt, and he sold X amount of them. And I bought, because of course, John's my good buddy. So I buy a couple of these shirts and I only wear them when I'm going places with John. And we went out to eat one time, and I'm wearing this shirt that has John's face on it, where he's like, ah. And the waiter is looking at me, and then looks at my shirt, and looks at John, and kind of looks at me, and it's like, what the hell? It's just it's all these things and all this fun stuff.
That kind of reminds me of the Hammy rap where he with the 8 gauge. How many times I've played that silly song? But it's just,
you know how many times I've heard that song? Well, John's getting to the point that he's become, kind of internet famous. And we were at Napa Auto Parts in where were we? We were in Oregon at just a little Napa buying some oil. And John had a Skyhigh shirt on. I think I had a Skyhigh, maybe my hat or something. And we're going to check out. And the guy, he sees my hat. He's like, you guys know Skyhigh Car Audio? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, dude, I run their stuff. It's like the greatest thing. And I was like, oh, Skyhigh's junk. And he's like offended by it. He's like, I thought it was, pretty good. I was like, no, I'm just kidding, dude. I was just kind of, And he's telling us about his build and all this stuff. I was like, how? John's standing next to me, and this guy has no clue who he is. I said, have you ever met the owner of Skyhigh? And he goes, what? I said, yeah, it's Jon Rabe. He's right here. And I looked at him, and I winked, and I walked away. I was like, here you go, buddy. And he was like, it probably made his day, but he's like, oh God,
John's like
internet famous now.
Right.
But it's always good times. I don't know where our conversation is going, and I feel like our poor friend from Kicker is just sitting there listening to me ramble on and on and on and on.
Right.
In your fancy studio, I'm super jealous of.
He's a man of many words.
Yeah, there ain't. I don't have just a whole lot to say.
I identify. Right.
Well,
But hey,
like we all said,
how many stores? I mean, like, how many dealers do y'all have? Where do you go to get the stuff? Your
is
stuff.
that for me?
Yeah.
So when it comes to online, we kind of really limit our online presence. John manages the majority of it at Skyhigh Car Audio. We have another website, theaudiodepot.com. You can pick up our merch and kind of deal with us in a more of a Midwest outlet. There's a couple smaller. G2 Dynamics carries it online. And then we have a slew of dealers. Skyhigh's actually built a pretty good dealer network on the West Coast, and they kind of maintain the distributorship of a lot of that. So there's a ton of dealers, primarily on the West Coast. Midwest, we do a little bit here and there. East Coast, we don't do too much with. It's been kind of a slow market. I don't have a lot of dealers out there, but primarily,
we have lots of people in Louisiana that like to run it.
Yeah,
I just assumed you probably had a dealer there. I just wondered who it was.
Or
they may be ordering it online. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you've got somebody in mind, I mean, I know a guy.
Right? Yeah, I know one guy. I think he's been looking for a 3K or something like that for a long time. Says he can't find one.
Really? Yeah. Send me a message.
Yeah.
I've read quite a few of
right. Yeah.
That product. B2 has been around for a long time, and I've personally ran a lot of B2 products.
Well, I appreciate that, man. We do our best to kind of stay in our market. A lot of people always talk about competition, and they really like to reference us with like Sundown, for example. And as far as business relationships go, I don't think there's many other audio companies out there that we have such a great relationship with than Sundown. Like Jake has been a fantastic guy, and he's been absolutely great to us. And and it's always funny. You see online, people talk about, oh, would you run X or Sundown? And I'll always get on there and be like, hey man, I'd probably buy the Sundown over that. And he'll do the same thing if it's ever in comparison. And I really appreciate a lot of companies that they do their own thing. At B2 Audio, we do a lot of our own R&D. We try to set our own trends and not just go off of like I'll take that, put our name on it. Yeah. That's generally not how we do business.
So what is y'all's forte? The reason I asked is because I really thought it was SPL. Do you know? I think his name's John Party. I think you know that name.
John Party. It sounds familiar.
He showed up at one of the very first shows I ever had, maybe even while we were still doing like meet and greets, not even competitions, and popped out like a 79 with
really
B2 subs. And so
I think I know who you're talking about. That's been a while.
This is in Mississippi. I don't know if that's where he's from, but he came to that little show there in Mississippi.
How long ago was this?
5 years or so.
Yeah, I think I know. I think I know who you're talking about. It kind of goes both ways. B2 Audio, the company kind of started as doing it a little bit better. And that's originally the name for B2 Audio was before it was ever B2, it was Better Bass. And Jay, used to work for Blaupunkt. He was one of the managers in Europe for the company Blaupunkt. If you don't know who Blaupunkt is, if you haven't been around, they were huge. They didn't seem like a big company, but they were owned by Bosch, so they had like an unlimited budget.
That's all those huge. Porsches in the 80s and 90s came with Blaupunkt. Porsches.
It was all Blaupunkt.
Right, it was all prior to Alpine.
Yeah, even in Europe, I mean, they were a huge company, and Jay used to work there, and they kind of just, Blaupunkt had kind of a fall from grace when the car audio scene, picked up a lot in the 90s and early 2000s, and then it just kind of like dropped off. And Jay thought it would be a good idea, to essentially quit his job and start a car audio company right at like the bottom of the apex here. It was probably 2006 to 2008 where he was really kind of, then the markets crashed and financial markets. So B2 got into the market doing, with the idea that our products would be better engineered and sound better, be better quality than a lot of the stuff that was out there at the time. And it was never, a price point or based on just having expensive equipment or this or that. It was, would I run that? Would I buy that? And that really started out with sound quality, and then slowly, moved into the big SPL scene. It was probably 2009 when B2 dropped their the first M1, and there were no. Almost, I wouldn't say no. There were almost no companies in America or really in the scene that were doing half-bridge Korean-built amplifiers at the time. Early 2000, 2008, 2009, 2010, there was nobody. And B2 Audio came out with the M1, which was like a 85, 9500 watt amp. And it just, it was more power than anybody had seen, in the footprint that it was and the price that it was. And that's when B2 kind of really got into that SPL side and just kind of grew with it. And, we kept developing and kept doing more products and more, just more and more and more and more. And it really allowed us to open up as a company, not just be SPL, as we'll have really nice sound quality products. We'll have nice SPL products and kind of, be of in between and not be a gimmick company. I'm the worst at writing product descriptions because I feel like you just got to come up with ways to hype yourself up. You got to, come up with gimmicks and tell people, well, it's designed better. Well, what's better? Well, this is, X, Y, Z, it has this, we deal with quality companies and we don't like to pick things out of a book, and we want, things to be our way instead of, we just don't we can't do that. It's provide the best possible products with whatever it takes attitude and, try to do the best that we can. And that's really gave us an opportunity to be really broad in the market and have, like Dan saying in the comments there, Alan Dante in the SPL scene, we were years and years and years number two. And then finally, for the last 2 years, we won world finals and did a lot of stuff with that, and set the loudest ever recorded TermLab score was B2 Audio build, and
that guy Alan, he runs B2.
Dante,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been Jay and Max actually flew down there and did a bunch of work to have the loudest recorded score in history is one thing. At an actual sanctioned event, I'll put that out there. So I think that there's been louder, but garage scores are garage scores, Right. But when it comes to the sanctioned event, what'd you do at the show? And Alan, set that, based on TermLab and whatnot. But he also did it in I wouldn't say Brazil's a third world country. I can't say that. They just have a lot of different challenges. Shipping things down there is a lot harder, and dealing with the markets and everything else. You think here that you could just go buy some aluminum tape, for example. I know you guys know about that aluminum tape. You see all these guys putting in their box. They ran out of it in Brazil, and Ryan Warnick, if you guys know Ryan or not, him and I kind of got together and we shipped some aluminum tape for World Finals in Brazil, and it took 7 months to get there.
Wow!
So completely missed the show because it was completely gone. So,
yeah. 7 months.
Aluminum tape, and it was like $300 to ship it to Brazil. from the Midwest.
You're off to get on a plane yourself. Just
Right.
take
Good,
Right.
good luck. Good luck getting it in there. But you know, to
Right.
be able to you know, come onto the scene and do the things that we've done. I mean, we're a very small company. You know, Beachbody was not. You know, we're not. You know, hundreds of millions. You know, we're just a small company with a group of guys that, you know, we call it audiophile acoustics, and we really stand behind that. You know, stand behind the product and focus on quality over quantity. You know, it's not all about the money. It's about, you know, taking care of your people, your customers, and being proud of, you know, all the products that you have.
Yeah.
So,
And being
I've
sweet
never heard
like
a bad
Danish.
thing about B2.
I mean, everybody has their challenges.
Yep.
You know, everybody has product failures, and I mean, there's always something that goes on. And I've always told people, you know, when it comes to dealers, even when it comes to like Jon and Skyhigh and our distributors, I tell them all the time, it's not the price you pay. It's really not. In this market, a lot of people only look at that. They want the cheapest possible price that they can get, and that's all that matters. And I always tell them, look a little bit beyond that. And the older you get, the more experienced you become, you gain insight. And I've always said, if you want to know about a company, if you really want to know where they're at, when it breaks, tell me what they do. Because it doesn't matter that you bought it. It doesn't matter that you've been there for X amount of years. You've never had a problem. When it breaks, tell me how they treat you. Because that will tell you right there what that company is about and what that brand is. And if they take care of you, then you know. I mean, that's what you get when you maybe pay a little bit more, or you buy from a known vendor. You know, you buy something from Skyhigh and it breaks. I mean, they have complete control over the warranty program, and I stand behind them. I tell them all the time, man, just swap it out, take care of the customer. I'll deal with it on the back end. If it's a B2 audio issue, maybe it's not. I mean, there's times we've warranted stuff that was 100% their issue. They shorted it out. We find it out, you know, after the fact. But, you know, that's always what I say when you're shopping online, you're dealing with a lot of these, you know, these maybe, I wouldn't say shady companies, but it isn't always just, you know, that price you pay. It's about what we talked about earlier, Slamology, value. What do you get for your money, and what value does it bring?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Man, you were like full of energy tonight, man. How many coffees?
Dude, I drank 2 cups of coffee sitting here waiting for you guys to bring me up.
I know, he was like, I seen you back in the backstage, just sitting back there. Was like, oh, come on.
I got up and made another cup of coffee, and I was just waiting. And then you guys were talking about something, and I was laughing, but I couldn't add to it. But, dude.
Right.
Everybody got scared to be on the live stream here, and I was like, been here, done that. I think they should be more afraid to have me on the live stream.
No,
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome to have you. I'm excited just to be a part of it as well. I think it's cool, and for you guys to take the time to talk about Slamology, that means a lot.
Yeah, without even thinking about it, Slam is the one show that it doesn't matter. I mean, when COVID happened, that was like a last minute thing when we have the almost Slamology. And, you know, it was one of the things, like Donnie put out the call. He says, hey, you know, we got to cancel, we got to this. And it was like you know, what can we do to help you? You know, like I 100%, you know, stand behind Slamology. And, it was a tough time dealing with COVID and everything else, and the way that they handled it. And
so that started the Spreckens Dick.
100%, you know, stand behind Slamology. And it was a tough time dealing with COVID and everything else, and the way that they handled it. And they 100%, you know, stand behind Slamology. And it was a tough time dealing with COVID and everything else, and the way that they handled it. And they 100%, you know, stand behind Slamology. I mean, it's not a bad thing to lose. And 100%, you know, stand behind Slamology. I mean, it's not a bad thing to lose.
Somebody's playing the stream on another channel. That's pretty cool.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Well,
that's pretty good.
How did you think you sounded?
It was all right. It was all right.
Spreckens Dick came across pretty obvious. I guess. Gotcha, Andrew. Again, that's not. Now I'm one up.
There you go. You ain't gonna beat the plane,
right?
But yeah, the almost Slamology was That was a lot, and it was really hard for a lot of the businesses. And I mean, we were really bummed out that we didn't get to go. But again, Donnie and the crew, and I mean, they took care of us as vendors from that perspective. And I've never found another show that treats their customers, and I say that, and their vendors, the way that they do. I mean, it's just, again, it's value. There's a relationship there that you get that you just don't get from other shows.
Yeah, you know something cool about that the Almost Slamology shirt or whatever. We sold 2,000 T-shirts online in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It blew my mind because when we canceled it the first time, it was our June date, and they're like, "Hey, no, we're gonna have to move it to September." And I said, "Okay." Obviously we reached out to all the sponsors. We reached out to everybody. Hey, they're saying September. Like, whatever, go for it. And a lot of the sponsors at that point had already paid their invoices. Everything was a go. And then, we got into August, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen again. Then we did the T-shirt deal, and for the community to stand behind us like that, I mean, we were 15 grand into marketing it at that point in the year. You know what I mean? We'd marketed the show twice, and not just man hours and everything was processed on this side. We already had probably 800 pre-reg just sitting here when we had to cancel the first one, and it was too much. And for everybody that did that, oh my gosh, we were all beyond ourselves. Prior to COVID, I'm done with that shit, man. We got to put that whole stuff behind us.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the best. I know nobody's more sick of it than Jeremy. Probably, like he said, he's been grounded for 2 years, and him and I have stayed in touch. I don't know, monthly, sometimes bi-monthly over COVID or whatever. Just call, catch up. Hey, how you been? What's going on? And man, you talk about somebody that is going stir crazy.
Yeah.
He's like a dog in a cage.
Absolutely ready to get out, man. I mean, it's been fun to do this here, but it's going to be nice to get back out in front of the consumers, front of all what I consider my family out on the road. So,
how many people do y'all bring to the shows, Jeremy, on average? I know probably all different, but
yeah, it just depends on what we're doing, but I like to say average is somewhere between 150, right around 150 or right above 150 on average.
do a show?
No. Sorry, you're not talking about Unmasked. You're talking about Slamology.
Yeah,
okay.
Like the crew that y'all carry or bring.
Yeah, so I want to say it really. Period. If the rig's going anywhere, I like to have at least 5 people with me. Now there are some shows that we'll have a rep and he'll have a few guys with him or a couple dealers that are really good, and they enjoy and don't mind helping us out. So we might be able to make it with a few people from Kicker, and they'll give us a hand on setting the semi truck up. But most of the time, I like to take a minimum of 5 with the semi, and but like Slam, I think the last few times we've had about 8 go with us, because they will have a couple specialists from R&D as well.
Yeah. Now this is that I really wonder.
Oh, sorry.
So Slamology is a big show, right? So including shows that are not car shows and are not car audio shows, because y'all do lots of other type shows, right? Like the Miami Boat Show kind of thing. So
trade shows.
How big are those? Is how does Slamology being car and audio compare to, say, boat and yacht or whatever, size wise?
As far as the participants go, man, when you compare like probably Miami Boat Show, or that might be, I'm trying to think of some of the other trade shows. You have Knowledge Fest. The biggest difference is the people that are attending these shows. Most of the time, trade shows aren't consumers. They're going to be dealers and reps.
Is that what you do most of trade shows?
Man, we do a pretty decent mix, and honestly, over the last couple of years, we've been able to hit more consumer-oriented shows than trade shows. with our guy Lauren Morrell that has been setting up for us at Arena Cross and American Flat Track. So I would say, as far as the kicker team that goes out, we do about an even amount of trade shows and consumer-oriented car shows, boat shows that are more driven around the consumer and not dealer and rep.
Yeah. Well, so of the consumer shows, so how does Slamology compare to some of those others? Is this blow it out of the water like I'm thinking it does?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does. I mean,
Biggest show I've ever seen or heard personally.
The other one that I like to compare it to a little bit, and there's only a piece that I can compare it to, is actually this weekend, Lone Star Throwdown down in Conroe, Texas. And, they cap that show at 2,000 entries, and they fill it every year. But there's no... It to me is just a small segment of what Slamology does, though. But as far as compare it to a similar show when it comes to the level of builds and the vehicles there, that's the closest thing that we do. But then you have all those other segments that happen at Slamology and all the car audio that happens there. So I know for a fact, as far as the car audio show goes, it's the largest one that I know of.
Oh, it is by far.
Yeah.
I think it'd
That's
be
awesome.
pretty amazing to see the diesel come to the Oklahoma show we have scheduled. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't know that it's not, Jeremy. That's the one that Denny Eddy's doing. Not
Yep,
far from me.
Kicker in Bricktown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's just south of us, 45 minutes to an hour. So, yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. It is just a one-day kind of car show, but man, this thing has potential to turn into something really big. And I know Denny's trying to make it huge, which I'm really excited for. So,
Denny's a good guy, and Baseware will obviously be there. I'll be repping the show, and Billy will be having fun taking pictures.
Yep.
For once.
Got to get footage, right?
Oh yeah.
Got to promote.
So,
Looks like
any of you guys
Andrew's
got
coming
any
back to work.
comments or anything you'd like to ask these guys tonight? Somebody's
Did we put everybody
Sorry,
to sleep?
that's me.
Andrew's back there texting just on
Dude, working. I got people messaging me, answering emails. talking about
He's
Slamology.
got that Andrew Showers money, man. It's
Right.
You got to look out for that.
It's funny because I call Donnie. He'll call me on the phone, and I call him the BABB. And I don't know why it just always sticks because it's bad, BABB. What's up, Donnie? BABB. I'm actually what I'm looking forward to at Slam is the obviously meeting the new people and doing the fun stuff that we do at the booth, but the semi truck thing that Donnie was talking about earlier, like the car show side of it. How do you grow to get the city allow you to get venues for shows? Well, Donnie can answer that, but Indy's a unique town. But no, the semi truck scene.
Yeah, we'll
is
revisit that question
unreal.
here in a second.
Like, I came across
Things are
it
amazing.
because I knew that they were there, and it was always kind of a thing over there because I'd be in the booth. But for whatever reason, last year I kind of came across it. I was out on the go-kart or the golf cart. There you go, go-kart. And I was taking somebody to do something, and I came down that row, and I stopped, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I didn't even know that this was this big. I knew they were here, and I never come over there, but it is incredible to see what some of these guys are doing with these semi trucks. I mean, it is an incredible amount of work done because you think about your car, and it's like Donnie said, it's $1 million semi. Like,
Can you imagine detailing the thing?
And those guys do, man. They do, and some of them, it's crazy. They trailer them in even. So some of those big ribs are trailer queens, and other ones are working trucks. That red and white one that's there every year
that thing is fine.
had the big lift on it last year. He left the show and went to work. And
Right.
Jeremy can vouch. He's got to clean that kicker rig. You know what I mean? Like you can only roll into so many truck stops. Those guys are only going to do such a good job at the truck wash. They're not going to detail it for the show.
I would think those show trucks never see a truck wash. I wouldn't take my truck to a truck wash if it looked like that.
Yeah, and that I don't know. I hope they never see the Northeast Coast. You know what I mean, or the the Northeast Coast at all. I mean, I can't even imagine the road conditions out there this time of year, and they do, man. They ball it out. But I always say those guys are addicted to cleaning because they start rolling in on Thursday during setup, and then they'll be there Friday during setup. And I mean, those guys are just nonstop cleaning. From the time
you go by, they're always washing. That's all they do.
Oh, they are too, and that's and at Slamology, they don't have to show clean here because they're not having a competition here. They're not competing against each other. So what Slamology is kind of a marketing campaign, not really a marketing campaign, but it's a low pressure, fun way for everybody in the Midwest, all these truck drivers. Indiana's the crossroads of America, so it's the perfect place for a truck show. And it just all kind of made sense. So we got to working with, Kevin and the guys, and we got it all put together, and here it is. And it's awesome. It's fun. And we got some cool stuff coming this year. We, Kevin actually left, and he's working in a new company. So he's at Mayberry Truckers, man. So he's in North Carolina now, and they're going to bring a lot of those cool trucks up from the South. And then we got a whole group of guys that are bringing in all their rigs from the Hater Made guys. They're bringing like 5 or 6 trucks in from Texas this year, and every one of those trucks are 100% Trailer Queen show trucks, and they're just amazing, and they're all full of audio, top to bottom.
Right.
I met those crazy Hater Made guys in Texas at the hottest show on the history of the planet. The Hater Made people were down there. We bought a bunch of shirts from them. They're actually pretty cool dudes. Yeah,
that's
I got a bunch of them shirts too.
They were at Slamology last year too. They're good guys. They're awesome. They're great, and it's cool every year. It just, like I said, word just keeps going out and out and out, and it just gets better and better.
Bigger.
And it starts with with the top sponsors. You guys are the ones that allow us to do this, man. You're just making it better for the entire community, and I mean, hats off to you guys. It means the world to us.
Absolutely.
I know we absolutely appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you guys being here. So that's cool.
Well, cool. Well, if anybody's got any more questions for Jeremy Andrew, shoot them out. Otherwise, we'll cut them loose, and we'll let Donnie tell us how we make a show big in Indianapolis. Right?
I don't know about making it big in Indianapolis. Trying to get it big in other cities is a problem.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, man, thank y'all so much for coming, Jeremy. Andrew, I appreciate it so much, man. Thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Billy.
Y'all have a
Good
good
to see you
night.
guys. Yep.
Good night, guys.
Have a great night,
See
Jeremy.
you,
Thank
Andrew.
you, Andrew.
All right.
Man, that kicker studio is just
What was that one
amazing.
that we were going to touch on? That was a good. That's what I was alluding to. That one question. I don't remember what it was though. How do you get the city to allow it?
Yeah, how to get the
Something like
city to allow it?
A lot of begging.
Yeah.
The first year that the audio really started to take off, the community was surprised. I mean, for us, what we have really in our advantage is Lucas Oil Raceway is, it's the home to the U.S. Nationals, and it's a loud venue, man. It's a loud venue 4 days a week. So, and John Force goes out there and tests on Tuesday. All the big race teams are out there.
Okay.
Cruz, all those guys, they're all out there. They rent the track on a Tuesday and go out and test tires all day. So, and we're in Indianapolis. It's the racing capital of the world as well. So people are used to noise, at a lot of times. One big thing is the curfew. That's why at 6 o'clock we shut it down. We're like, everybody get out of here, go to your hotels, do your thing, go enjoy your after hour stuff. Cause, there's still people in the communities, and just like any other racetrack, they keep building houses closer and closer and closer.
Right.
And it becomes difficult, but it's taken a lot of work. It's a lot of work with the local Brownsburg Police, the Indianapolis Police Department, the Indiana State Police. We meet with those people nonstop around the clock, year after year. And like what Andrew said, like when they tried to get me out, I'm in a meeting with NHRA in the middle of our show, talking about noise volumes, what's going on here, the dust, and obviously they're all taking decibel readings around the track because they're trying to defend us as much as we're trying to defend them.
Right.
The noise complaints. I mean, when I'm saying they're coming in from 5 miles, they're literally coming in from shopping centers 5 miles away. People saying something's wrong. There's a war going on.
Yeah, it's amazing that we won't be any louder than those cars, but the fact that it's music, people can't stand it.
Well, it's so the talk about that and what they do or what their argument on that is the cars come every 30 seconds. Womp, womp, womp. Mm-hmm. So with the bass, from the time we open the show at 9 a.m. till we close at 6, it's just continuous thunder. And it's different to them. They're only rattling, the stuff on their walls once every 30 seconds. And only the big NHRA guys, you know what I mean? Only the top fuel guys. Those are the only ones that are even coming close to doing what we're doing. So it's a handful and it's a lot, but the community there has really started to embrace us, and our participants treat them good. They support the local businesses. They support the hotels. They go into the gas stations. They support the gas stations. They, support the restaurants in the area. Everybody leaves the waitresses big tips. When you treat people right, they want you to come back.
And it's good for a city. You're right. That carries a lot of weight.
Oh,
well,
no,
it's got to be a big, I like to say when you have a big show like Slamology, you provide a lot of money and income for that community or for that town or whatever, between the hotels, the restaurants, the Walmarts, just everything. Just everything should blow up that weekend. And that's a big seller for them as well, too.
And truly does. And we work hand in hand with the CVB. Right now on our hotel on the website for hotels, I only have the host hotel on there. We're going to get it sold out, which won't take long. It'll be sold out by next Friday. So if people are saying they want to stay there,
I think it already is.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right. I said we announced it on here. Hopefully it'll be sold out tomorrow. But once we put the other hotels on there, we work hand in hand with the CVB. And what they do is they work with the local business owners, and those local business owners, they work with us for like the goodie bags that the first 500 people that come through the gate, they get goodie bags. There's coupons for all the restaurants in there. You know what I mean? The guy that owns Dairy Queen in town, he wants you to come and buy ice cream. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't come and turn your stereo up full blast in his parking lot, but come and buy ice cream. Support the community. Stop at the local restaurants. There's in Brownsburg, the town that's just adjacent to the track or where it's actually located. There's amazing pizza places there. There's Applebee's. I mean, everything's there. And then you have Avon, which is just the town that's to the south of us. And it's everything. It's Best Buy, Walmart, Meijer. And, obviously that's, our show brings in a lot of revenue for the area.
Yeah. Jason's absolutely right. You can't forget about the local U-Haul.
Right. U-Haul makes a lot of money, and the guy that, the window replacement guy, it's a Safe Light. Those guys
definitely.
I always see a couple of those trucks pulling in throughout the day. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm super excited to have Base Wars here. It's going to be cool. It's going to be some new flavor.
I mean, we're excited about it. I look forward to having something to push for a few months.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing as registrations open tomorrow. Everything will just start rolling through. I want to see all those people selecting, Base Wars. I want to know that those guys they're interested in your part of, what you guys are bringing to the plate. And I really think the car show community side of the show, for those guys that want to get metered and they want to check out their systems, they'll be able to bring those over. And man, it might be pretty cool. You guys might get some $500,000 cars to come through.
Right. How awesome would that be?
Oh, yeah. That'd be really cool. So one of our builders that's won like our Best of Show trophy, I don't know, like 8 times with 8 different builds. I mean, his name's Jon Rabe. He's an amazing builder, but he builds and debuts a car every year for the Sony booth at SEMA. And he's never metered any of those cars. He has no clue. You know what I mean? He just, they're loud. They sound damn good. You know what I mean? But to John, he hops in them and, man, he throws in some Metallica, some, Guns N' Roses, or, play some old Snoop Dogg or whatever. So, they don't even have any clue. So hopefully we can get some of those kind of guys over there to get them educated enough, to kind of have an idea of what they're doing and just to get a good meter sound. And obviously it would draw a crowd, hey, your Best of Show came through and whatever, he pulled off a 50, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that he got, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it'd
be pretty neat. We're excited, man. It's going to be good stuff. So in pre-registration opening tomorrow, I put a discount code for 10 people for, an extra $5 off. So there'll be $45 registration for the first 10 people. Use promo code Base Wars tomorrow, or actually between us when we get off of this here, I'm going to leave my iPad. I'm going to walk to my computer and I'm going to open online registration. So
there you guys go.
I'm going to open it up a little bit early. So if guys want to use, promo code Base Words, it's only good for 10 of them, but get them for, it'll get them another $5 a piece off. So if they've been with us for the last, hour and 40 minutes or however long we've been on, right. If you've been sticking it out, man, here, we're going to give you something back in return. And then, we'll always have a little something extra for them when they get to the show as well.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be so much fun. I look forward to it.
No, it's going to be a hoot, man. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with your outcome.
Yeah. You get a little nervous, but what can you do? We're going to promote ahead of time and hope they'll come. If they'll come, they'll like us because we're very laid back and we're not rude. It's just fun and it's easy. We're fast,
Absolutely.
You ain't got to sit in the line for an hour and a half.
Right.
Hopefully not.
It's a different type of competition because the other organizations they're very professional and they're very about what they do and we love that. The stuff that goes on in those lanes, man, those guys are competitive and once you learn about it and once you learn about the classes, that's once people and I've kind of seen that happen over the years. A lot of guys that weren't audio guys are all of a sudden starting to understand, and then you become a fan of a different car owner, or hey, I'm gonna follow this guy to the lane. I'm gonna see what these people are doing, or hey, how did he place at Mecca Finals, or how did this person place at IASCA, so it's good, man. It's going to be great stuff, and I think we're going to have some really heavy hitters, and hopefully some of them get to cross over into your lanes as well.
They're all heavy hitters out there. That's what I'm saying. If they will try us, they will like us, I think.
Yeah. We've had, a couple little feedback here and there about not having the clamp or whatever, but just like Billy said, if you actually take the time to run in the lanes, I promise you'll never look back.
Oh, right. Right.
And I'm not sure if you know what the clamp is or what it does, but it measures the power, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I say this, we use rated power, and I say that you're probably, with impedance rise, you're probably not going to get that power. So, we don't care.
Right.
You're probably not going to blow the power that you're rated at. So why clamp it? You're not going to exceed it most of the time.
Right. No, I think it's awesome, and it's a whole new taste of what we've had at Slamology, and it's fun for amateurs all the way through pros, man. So it's
absolutely
it's perfect, and that's we've really been missing a little bit of that whole full mix here.
I'm gonna try and create some more videos to educate the people that haven't done it with us, and for us to use as kind of like a manual, if you will.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of on paper or PDF, I'm going to try and create a series of videos, and I'll be able to put them out there so the people that haven't competed with us will be able to.
Right. Well, that's exciting, and then
but they won't be blindsided when they come.
You're right. Well, and to be there to answer questions, that's a big thing. As some of the other organizations over the years, Slamology, those guys are so busy, and they're running 4 lanes, and they got all these guys chasing points and doing all that stuff. That there's kind of a customer service side that's kind of fallen to the side, and we want to make sure that amateur, or even somebody like my son, he's 18 years old, he's not an audio kid by any means, but if I slapped a couple 12s in his car, he's gonna want to know how loud it is. You know what I mean? And that's as soon as you do it, as soon as you get on that meter for the first time, you're hooked. I mean, I know I was when I was a kid. That's what got me hooked to it. Right. And we weren't even running Term Lab or anything back then. It was just the RTA, and it was all I asked. We only got points up to 135 dB. So as long as I hit 135, I was good. I got max points at that time. That's been 30 years ago, but probably longer than that. Let's see how old I'm. Yeah. But some other cool stuff too. So for this year, we're bringing back the same trophies again that we did last year. I don't know. I've got one. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. So these are what we gave all the class winners. We always try to have something like super cool. Prior to last year we introduced these, and a lot of it is we had those mugs, the glass mugs, the big glass mugs. We had them for years and years and years, and the two things happened why those got rid of was one being there was no glass on the planet. You know what I mean? Those mugs did not exist because supply chain, everything else. And then, and metal cost went through the roof. So our trophy cost almost quadrupled to do that, which we would have to charge participants. I mean, just to cover their trophy cost. Oh my gosh, it'd be $100 just to get in the show. And we're not trying to do it. That's not who we are. We try to keep it as absolutely affordable as possible. And for $50 pre-reg, you're getting a hell of a lot of value with the concerts and all the different elements of the show, the car audio side of it, and the car audio guys. Like a lot of the SQ guys do this, and a few of the SPL guys do this. Is they're welcome to come to the car show side and go through judging as well, so they could go over and win a class in that. And a lot of the SQ guys do, especially the car guys. So there's some of those import car guys that run the SQ stuff that come through our car show side, and they're like, holy cow, I just won an import class against guys that run import classes at, in circuits and shows. And they're like, I didn't even realize it was this nice, but that's just another area. So the SPL guys are welcome to do that too. They can compete SPL, win a trophy with you guys, turn around, come through the car show lanes and win a trophy there as well. Obviously if they're going to keep their cars clean and something big I've been trying to push to the SPL community is show some pride in your ride, clean that shit up, that as a car show guy. Oh my gosh. Like sometimes I look at some SPL cars and I get it. You know what I mean? It's not about the looks, but wipe the damn mud off your tires, spray your wheel wells out. There's a car wash right around the corner. Take 2 seconds of some pride.
Absolutely.
So, and I've been praying to the other orgs forever, and I'm going to ask you guys to do the same. Find a way to give a guy that cleans his car up a little bit some kind of extra bonus or something. You know what I mean? Like come up with a special class or something that's just like, hey, clean this or, whatever from there. Cause that's, it means a big thing. And it's really about how you present yourself on that side. Take pride in your ride. Exactly.
All right. Yeah, I just wrote that down. I can see that being on a t-shirt of mine.
Right? Well, you can quote me on that because I have screamed that to every organization head for at least the last 10 years. Like, gosh, find a way that we get these guys to kind of clean their stuff up. Tire dressing's cheap, man. So $2 to put some tire dressing on your car and clean it up and wipe your wheels down. If you can't wrap it, spray it, whatever.
Yeah. That's right.
And don't spray paint offensive stuff all over the side of your car. We had a guy a couple years ago. I had to make him park his car. Man, they had dildos stuck to the hood and all kinds of crazy stuff. And they were having a good time. I'm not mad at them. They're cruising the cruise lanes, but I'm like, man, we got kids and stuff here too with families. So
was that Dan,
this in Panama City, man. You know what I mean? Like we're not on the beach at spring break. I mean, we want that environment, but at the same time, we all have to respect each other and at least make our moms proud of us somehow,
Right. I tell you what, I gauge that. I have a little girl, she's in high school, and what I want her seeing daddy say that is a good litmus test,
Right. Well, when we started Slamology, when my wife and I started talking about it and kind of putting stuff together and doing everything, when we started to build it, it was, if we're going to put a show on and we're going to build a show, it's got to be a show we would go to and we would not only take our family to, but we would take our parents to as well. And our parents have both, they're all retired from it now. We're on our 19th year. So they're all in their, they're living their golden years. But all the way up until just a few years ago, my wife's parents, they were by our side. They worked the spectator gate. And they worked 10,000 people, one ticket at a time coming through that gate. So yeah, it's crazy. So it's always been family, and it's always been something that I've never been ashamed to take my son to, any of his friends or even them working, obviously as they grew up and got a little bit older, they've all got to work the event, and, I couldn't be more proud. And a lot of that goes back to the community as well. And it's cool because a lot of the community doesn't always act that way at other events. I've been to some other events and been like, whoa, man, these guys didn't act like this at Slam. So everybody keeps a cool head and they respect each other, at least for 2 days out of the year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's got so many people there that I'm sure there are some people there that you wouldn't want them to see you acting a fool like that on a professional level, right?
Right. No, yeah, no, and you don't. And that's, when we were talking about the community, like what's something that we've done, one of our big selling points with the community is we're 19 years of no incidents, no fistfights, no arrests, no anything, and and there's been some scary times, you know what I mean? We've had people online talk smack and everybody's a keyboard jockey and, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as we get to the show, we isolate them and just give them to the police department, right away. Like, somebody's like, I'm going to shoot you when I get there. Be ready. I got to have guns blazing. Well, you're on the internet. We know who you are. And you're in an audio club. All these people know you. So when you get to the show, here, I'll go ahead and introduce you to this detective. So his job's to watch you all weekend. You know what I mean? Like, and then it all comes out like, oh, hey, no, man, I was just talking shit online. So, obviously prior to the event, everybody keep your cool, man. We're just all here to have a good time. And it's just bass, man. Let's just jam. Let's just have a good time. It doesn't need to be that deep.
Yeah, just have fun.
100%.
Right.
That's what I say. Well, all righty, sir. Well, I appreciate you coming on with us. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just thank you. Pre-registration. I'm gonna leave my iPad. I'm gonna stop by the toilet on the way, and I'm gonna turn on pre-registration tonight. And like I said, first 10 guys that use it, or 10 guys or gals, whatever. Base words, all one word, lowercase. Put that in there, so you'll get $5 off your registration, and we'll stick you in a little folder on the side. We'll know who you are when you get there.
Yeah, cool deal. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited. And Slamology.com, you can register there. And obviously, I think, we're all going to do a little more cross promoting together. So come out to the show, not only support you guys, support the rest of the show, all the other organizations. We're really big on family and community and the entire scene. That's we want everybody to be happy in the same house. And we all have something to offer. So let's come together and offer it and have a good time.
That's right. Just make us a big show.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
For sure. We'll see all you guys in June.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much, Johnny.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Have
Appreciate
a good
you
one.
doing this with us and getting other guys on with us. That was fun. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Please stay and watch this in video. You will like it. I promise
Yeah,
you.
he's seen it.
I've seen that thing 15 times already.
I'm gonna tell funny. So I made this video, and I don't do the voiceovers very well, right? I mean, I'm just not a real excited person. I'm just not that guy.
It happens.
So I sent it to him. I said, "Hey, man, look, what do you think?" And he says, "Man, it sounds really boring, and the music is terrible." Right? So, here I go. We fixed it, and we got it to a medium level.
I didn't mean anything personal by it.
Look,
we're in Slamology. We're not at Dollywood, man. That's a whole two different worlds.
Yeah, it made it better, did it not? Right?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, you did much better.
Yeah, so
I actually the one you're getting ready to play, I like a lot. You did good.
Yeah. But that was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't take offense.
Oh yeah, don't take offense.
It made us better. So
yeah, no.
Anyway,
hey, perfect. Well, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you all soon.
All right. Anyways, we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. No worries. We'll see you soon.
And see the rest.
You've heard of the Base Wars organization. You've probably considered competing in the Base Wars organization. Friends, it's time to pull the trigger. Base Wars will be attending Slamology, the world's largest automotive and music festival. Yes, friends, you heard that correct. For the first time, Base Wars will be attending Slamology. This is very exciting news, so don't miss your chance to compete with us. You'll enjoy our atmosphere and our laid-back style of competing. Those of us from Slamology, Base Wars, Kicker, and Skyhigh look forward to seeing you at the world's largest automotive show and music festival, June 10th through the 12th at Indianapolis, Indiana.